The West Loop in Chicago is absolutely booming. I mean, it is amazing. The biggest thing now is retail coming in to support all the amazing housing that's going in. So there's a lot of new luxury apartment buildings coming up in the West Loop, and the rents are pretty costly, but very popular. And then you have just an amazing number of office towers going up. Some aren't doing so well. I've heard bankers say that they're not doing well, about 50% of them. But the residential and the retail is booming in the West Loop. And then there are buildings that have old school lofts, new school lofts that are, the old ones are inexpensive, maybe $400,000 or $500,000, but then you have properties up to $4.5 million going up, residential lofts, things like this, and plenty of clubs, restaurants to support them all, to be supported by them all. It's just pretty incredible. A lot of Midwest entrepreneurs, high net worth people have bought in the more expensive buildings here. Rather than being downtown Chicago, they're just about a mile and a half west in the West Loop with a lot more going on, a lot of fun. People that have family offices, people that own large companies or are C-level people. Quite a few of them I've helped, and others I haven't, but they're in these buildings that have gone up here with a lot of $3 to $4 million units. Just call, text, email any questions about the West Loop. I'm extremely active in on-market and off-market options here and know the nuances of the commercial property that is being supported by the residential. In addition to the new builds, a lot of people that have been living here a while are a lot of Chicago's professional athletes, especially the Blackhawks and the Bulls and some Bears and Cubs. Love the West Loop. It's pretty private, and get some great private housing options here, including gated communities, 2 of them. Some old school Italian. There's some very good bakeries and restaurants that have been here forever, way before the neighborhood is what it is today, when prices were much, much lower. You can get anywhere you want here too on the expressway. Indiana, Wisconsin, the North Shore of Chicago, it's all here. The West Loop is a great spot to land, but you do have to know about the values here, because there's been a couple buildings that have been hurt from the things that occurred in Chicago and are slow to come back, so make sure you don't overpay. And I'll show you some of the restaurants, some of the beautiful streets, especially along Madison Avenue, where a lot of really fun bars, restaurants are. Another part of the neighborhood in the West Loop is Fulton Marketplace. So growing up in Chicago, whenever I would come through here, it was all meat and vegetable trucks. There were loading docks on most of these buildings, and the trucks were all over the neighborhood. Now it's restaurants, housing, new office buildings going around. It's incredibly close. You could walk to work. You could walk to downtown Chicago, you could get to the lake easily. It's really amazing in Fulton Market and West Loop. You go through the neighborhood, you see parts of the old neighborhood, parts of the new neighborhood. It's just a lot of fun, and a lot of great places to hang out, have a good time, especially on a Friday night.